Hello, my loves. Happy Monday to everybody. Thank you so much for joining me for this reading on my channel. I hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. I hope everyone has a fabulous week ahead of them. Today is January 27th. 3 days to my birthday. But whenever you get this message is when this message is meant for you. But it is the 27th of January. I can't believe it's seriously almost February already. Just to go over a few things, my $40 sale is still going strong. I've had a lot of people who have signed up for it, so I'm busy, but I'm getting the readings back on time. So please take advantage of my Fuck It, It's $40 sale. You can send me an email to book, and the information to book is going to be below in the description box. I would like to thank everybody who has been sending me donations to this channel and to my work that I do with the community. It is very much appreciated. There is no donation that is too small or too big. Whatever it is, I am very grateful for it. And if you would like to contribute, my Cash App and PayPal information is also in the description box. This is a time when we spoke about getting things done, really taking the initiative to whatever your goals are, to get them done, to take the baby steps. And I just wanted to share some baby steps that I'm taking. I said that I wanted to work more hands-on in the community, and since then I have signed up for several events that I'm going to be doing. I wanted to share my banner that I got for the events that I'll be doing. I don't know if this is backwards where you guys are, but I absolutely love it. It has my logo that I created here, and my logo is based just like this from Unitarian Universalism. It is a chalice with a flame on it. If you look here, it also has a little rainbow because I am an ally of the LGBTQ community. That is because MADE Ministries, M-A-D-E, it stands for those who I serve. I serve those who are miserable, those who feel alone, those who feel discarded, and those who are eccentric, which means you don't really fit in anywhere. This is definitely a tribe of black sheeps over here. My business is ministry, which means service to the community. I'm here for spiritual guidance, I'm here for tarot reading, and I am here for energy healing. So I did take the initiative. I went and got, my banner together. I got my shirt, let me show you. I got my shirt printed so that when I'm out and about, people know what I stand for and that I am here to be a lighthouse in the spiritual storm. See, this talks about what I'm serving or the people that I serve. So I'm here and I'm taking the initiative. I also got my rack cards printed, which are cards that tell my service menu, and I got new business cards. So this doesn't just happen. You can't just say I want a business and hope that it's going to go well. You have to actually take the steps and take the time to create and advertise and tell people about your services, whatever it may be. So this is just a little inspiration for those out there who are starting to live within their purpose. Keep going, take it step by step, and you'll be great. I keep seeing this card, the Angel of Union. I keep saying it. It's about partnerships, and it's very interesting because today I was guided to pick up my rose quartz here. Isn't this a pretty rose quartz? And rose quartz is correlated to our heart chakras. It is about love. I also have this little half of a heart that I found while jogging one day, and then when you put them together, it's like a completion of a heart. It's hard for me to hold it, but what I'm getting intuitively is this is a time where people are definitely going to be healing heartbreak. And look at all this pink stuff that I have here. So I really feel as though this is a time where people are healing heartbreak, not just romantic heartbreak, but definitely romantic heartbreak, because you're ready to move on to something new. This is heartbreak that have occurred in your family. Maybe your parents broke your heart. Maybe your best friend broke your heart. You can definitely get a broken heart from a best friend. But it's saying that it's time for you to clear all of that energy from within you, because there is new coming in, and you can't fill a full cup. You can't pour more into a full cup. So I am excited to see that there are people who are actually going out there and trying to make themselves better, not just hoping that they'll get better. But I do see that relief from heartache and heart pain is here for you if you will go ahead and try. The universe will match your efforts, all right? So enough talking. Please, if you like these messages, please subscribe. I'm trying to grow so we can do this in a live format so we can get a conversation going on. Like, share, and subscribe. Give this message to anyone who you think might need to hear it. So we're gonna get into it. We're gonna use, this is the same deck I used last week. It's Angels, Gods, and Goddesses. And we're gonna see what message God has for us today to give us some guidance today. You see, I knew it was gonna come out because it's a message, because we need to hear it, and that's why it keeps coming. All right, so let's get it started. The first card that we pulled today is the Angel of Psychic Ability. See this? And this states that your intuitive and psychic abilities are strong at present. This is because a lot of you are learning the lesson about how to stop second guessing yourself. There's a certain amount of doubt or maybe gaslighting that you've experienced in the past, maybe recent past or far like into your childhood past, where people made you feel like you were crazy even though you weren't crazy, or you've been in relationships where people have, I don't know what you're talking about, you're always suspicious about this, but they were giving you a reason to be suspicious and then looking at you like you were the crazy one, right? So this may have dented or tainted your intuition, and now it's time to build that. Your intuition is just like any muscle, like your leg muscles, like your brain, which is a muscle. Your intuition, it can only be strengthened if you use and trust it. This is about trusting your gut. This is about trusting the feelings you're getting, involving certain situations, but it's also knowing the difference between being intuitive and being paranoid, right? Just because you think something, you don't want to run off on a tangent. And this takes practice. Everything in life that you do takes practice. So now is a great time to practice your intuition. It's also saying that we are all inherently or born with psychic abilities, right? Some of us are more naturally inclined, such as myself, to being psychic, and some of us train ourselves so that we can be greater psychics, right? But everybody has psychic abilities that you're born with. You have a sense of feeling, a sense of knowing, without having any evidence. This is the time to practice this. There are a lot of workshops out there. I was watching Netflix yesterday. I was watching Gwyneth Paltrow's show, The Goop Lab, and there was an episode about mediumship and psychic abilities. And the woman who was on there, she gave workshops to help you realize that you are psychic, like she was doing different kind of activities and stuff like this. These are available everywhere, or mostly everywhere, depending on where you live. So look for them. Look for opportunities to go to a workshop to develop your psychic abilities, because these abilities are God-given abilities for you to navigate your life, okay? There's some things that you are seeing clearly right now, but you don't want to see them. Maybe you're deceiving yourself. Maybe there's some energy of self-sabotage there. And it's time to get rid of that, because right now you can very much trust yourself and trust your gut. The second card that we get here is the Angel of Communication. See all that beautiful blue behind the angel? That's related to the throat chakra, which I feel us as a tribe, or like most of the time I do a reading, I always see like blocked throat chakras. And it's something that's a work in progress, but you need to work on meaning what you say and saying what you mean. You also need to work on being your most authentic self without fear of judgment. This could come from past life fears. Past life healing and inner child healing are my favorite things to work with my clients about. If you've had a past life where you were persecuted for witchcraft, for a crime, for heathenism, for adultery, for whatever it may be, that may be still in your DNA that needs to be released. If you had a past life where you were judged unfairly, that also is something that needs to be released. If you grew up in a family where children were to be seen and not heard, or if you expressed your opinion and it was different from your parents, it was seen as being disrespectful, then these are all things that would have blocked your throat chakra. You know what I'm saying? If you grew up in a household where you were told that you're not allowed to cry, to cry is to be weak, or if you were told, if you don't stop crying, I'm gonna give you something to cry about, and then when you grow up and you don't know how to cry, this is the same thing, especially if you are a male. Not that it doesn't happen to both, because I'm very fair with the genders. I don't believe in gender roles, but especially males, right? Whose parents tell them, don't cry, boys don't cry. And then when they grow up and they get in these relationships and their partners, well, babe, what's wrong? And I don't know, I don't want to talk about it. And you're like, well, you're so shut down, you're so closed off. That's because they've been programmed since they were children to shut it down. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand. We don't let little boys play with dolls, right? But then we expect them to be good fathers. We don't let them play house, but then we expect them to be good fathers. We don't let them do things like sewing, but then the majority of like fashion designers these days are men. We don't like them to do cooking, but then some of the world's greatest chefs are men. So I don't understand this. We gotta break this cycle, especially if you're a parent. Don't do this gender shit, right? Let your kids do and teach your kids, regardless of if they are male or female, both sides of the spectrum, because then they're gonna grow up blocked. Then they're gonna grow up not able to express themselves. So the throat chakra is more than just speaking your truth, it's expressing your truth. It's also anything dealing with sexuality. There was another episode on that Gwyneth Paltrow Goop Lab show about shame that is attached to your sexuality or shame that is attached to your body. This is all stuff you don't know how to communicate what kind of pleasure you want. These things all need to be addressed, and they need to be addressed ASAP. So the angel of communication card says communicate clearly. Don't be afraid to tell it like it is. If there's a supervisor, who's getting on your nerves or who's messing you up in your work or giving you more of a workload or giving you some of their workload, you have to be able to communicate this without being afraid of being fired. There's HR, there's human resources to prevent things like that, Just make sure that you're saying what you mean and not afraid to be judged and not afraid that there will be retaliation. Because if anything does fall apart along those lines by you just being yourself, then it wasn't meant for you in the first place. So work on that throat chakra, do some singing in the shower, get yourself some blue onyx, eat some blue foods, blueberries and grapes and things of this nature. You can also there's plenty of guided meditations on YouTube to help you to unblock your throat chakra. But now is the time for communication. Archangel Gabriel, who is someone that is in my personal spirit team, one of my personal spirit guides. He is the angel of communication. This is especially those who are in the field of communication, advertising, marketing, publishing, writing books, even spirit communication. So you psychics out there, you mediums out there, if you need help getting started in your purpose or just in your personal life, now is the time to call upon Archangel Gabriel, who will give you direction, who will give you ideas, who will put helpful people in your path. But now is the time for clear communication. If you've been seeing the number 3, because 3 is the number of communication, or 33 or 333, it is speaking to the fact that you need to work on your communication abilities. All right, so get it done. Or you may need to try a different advertising approach for your business, something along these lines. So get it done. All right, the next card we have here is the Angel of Families. And this is telling you the angels surround both you and your family at the moment, right? So there may be something occurring in your family that is very heavy. It may be a death in the family. And I send my love out to those and my support out to those and my comfort out to those who may be dealing with that. This could be actual family. This could be your fur family, your pets. This could be also people in your life or your chosen family. Something may be going on with them. It may also be a separation, what I'm getting. Like this could be for those who are going off to college for the first time, or those who are feeling less connected to their families at this time. The lonely, the people I talked about serving if you're not connected with your family. What I am noticing, there are 3 women in this card, and I've also been seeing a lot about the divine feminine. This morning when I was driving my kids to school, I saw 3 red cars back to back. One went straight and the other 2 crossed me, right? And if you don't know, the color blue is associated with the divine masculine, the color red is associated with the divine feminine, just like in the Matrix, the red pill, blue pill thing. And I said while I was driving, I was like, Spirit is trying to tell me something's going on with the divine feminine. That's why I see these 3 cards here, right? This could also be talking about the fact that you have 3 women in your family that you are needing to do healing with, right? There's, no matter if you're a man or a woman, now is the time to connect and heal with divine feminine energy. It means tapping into your emotions. It means if you have any mom issues, whether you were in a neglectful relationship with your mom, whether you were in a relationship where your mom kind of like an engulfing relationship with your mother, whether you have issues now or they have stemmed from before, it's time to heal any issues with your mom. This could also be your sister, your aunt, your best friend, or your daughter, depending on, you know, where you are in life and what your situation is. But there's something about telling you that you are kept, that while you're going through this process of healing, that the angels are supporting you. The angels are pointing you towards counseling, or pointing you towards talk therapy, or pointing you towards a retreat, or pointing you towards separating altogether in order to allow time for both parties to heal before you come back together. But yeah, there may be like you haven't talked to your sister in 3 years, 3 months, something like this, and it's time for you to fix and rectify this. So yes, anything dealing with divine feminine, I'm just trying to see if there's any other messages coming through. There may be some women in your family, this is just going to be for a few of you who are dealing with feminine issues, such as like ovarian cancer, breast cancer, polycystic ovary syndrome, because I'm being drawn to like the uterus area here, and also I see breast here, more feminine health. There may be someone who's dealing with infertility. Please know that the angels are supporting this healing process. And maybe it's because I see a lot of dark blue here. There may be a lot of sadness surrounding this, but the angels are helping you right now to let that go, okay? Then we have the goddess of beauty and all my spirit animal all over. I've been seeing, I always see my spirit animal. The butterfly is everywhere for me. Like everywhere I go, the stores and movies, just everywhere I see, this is my spirit animal, change and transformation. But it is saying that you are a wondrous being of light. There is nothing to fix and change, okay? There's a lot of energy of shame that I'm picking up right now. And as you can, I don't know if you can see, she's standing in a position where she's like covering herself. It's a defensive position, okay? It's like you don't want people to see the real you. So whether you're a man or woman, this is you. You don't want people to see the parts of you that you don't deem as beautiful. You want to hide those away. She wants to highlight the things that she thinks is beautiful, and she wants to hide away the things. So this could be body image issues, and that comes with releasing fear of judgment. This comes with knowing yourself. Before you can let anyone else love you, you have to love yourself completely, right? Before you can let anyone else give you pleasure, you have to know what pleases your own body. You have to get to know your body on an intimate level, okay? You have to get to know your sensuality, your sexuality. You have to love that mole, that scar, that sag, that cellulite, you know, that fat pocket, whatever it is, you have to love it, because you can't expect anyone else to love it if you don't. You know, everyone else, every other relationship besides the relationship you have with yourself is extra, okay? You guys gotta stop prioritizing other relationships than the relationship with self, okay? And know that you are perfect just the way you are. There's always room to improve yourself, but there's nothing wrong with you, is what I need you guys to know. You're changing and you're transforming, and more of you are knowing this more and more every day. You're becoming more comfortable with yourself, because as you start to live as your authentic self, this is also with age, okay? The older you get, the less you give a fuck, and that's just what it is. You don't care about what people think about you. You realize you've been so hard on yourself this whole time, right? That you don't care what other people think. I can honestly tell you, I'm to the point where I really don't care what anyone else thinks about me, because I have finally learned to love myself. It's a beautiful place to be. I'm also getting the energy of inner child work that needs to be done. There's a lot of inner children who were not held, and all they want to do is be loved, right? For instance, I'll give you an example. If you're a woman, you grew up and your father like neglected you, you may have been prone to just giving your love to anybody who showed you a little bit of affection. You know, these are the things that you need to look into. The way that your inner, what did your inner child need? Did you grow up in a house where it was a lot of arguing and fights and you didn't feel safe? You need to create a safe space for yourself now as a way to parent your inner child, okay? If you are abused, you need to apply lots of love to yourself, lots of self-love to you and your inner child. This may be a great time to write a letter to your inner child, okay? You really need to either do that or personify, see yourself as the little you, you know? And watch how you talk to yourself, because sometimes we're our own worst critics, right? And you're like, come on, stupid, you knew better. Would you say that to a child? No, you would not. So everything you say to yourself, see it as you would say it to a child. You need to be just as gentle with yourself as you would be to a child. Some of you are hiding away because this is your defense mechanism, but she's crying. If you look at that card, she's very sad. She's crying because she doesn't know her worth, because no one ever showed her her worth. Now it's time for you to know your own worth and tell your inner child, it's okay, we're safe now. It's okay, we're loved now. It's okay, you know, we don't have to earn love anymore. We don't have to worry about being judged anymore, because we have made it out of that situation. So lots of inner child and past life healing being called for. If you would like a past life reading with me, please, the information is in the description box, the same email address that you would send for a regular email. Just put in the subject box that you would like a past life reading, and we can get to the root of where this comes from, because that's very important to heal, okay? Then, one of my favorites from this deck is the Angel of Finances. Look at all that green and gold moolah, money, right? That's what we're talking about right now. It's telling you to honor and give thanks for the blessings you are about to receive. There is a very big need for you. Blessings all in my life. I was listening to Toast this morning by Coffee, right? Kofi. I'm saying Kofi, right? There's a need for you to realize that you need to feel grateful for the blessings you have not even received, because there's a mental chemical process that goes on with your brain, which then your inner manifests into your inner reality manifests into your outer reality. If you, for instance, if you're healing from a certain illness, whether this be physical, mental, or emotional, if you start to just feel grateful, thank you so much that I have healed from this. Thank you that I've gotten over this. I'm so grateful. I don't feel fatigued. I don't feel chronic pain. I don't feel this. Your body will act accordingly, and it will act as though it is healed, and then it will provide healing for you. Same things with your finances. Thank you so much for my dream house. I didn't know if I was going to get it, but I got it. You may be in the same 1-bedroom apartment, you know, but you thank yourself for your dream house. It's law of attraction that's working, okay? Energy is a very real thing. For those of you who need scientific evidence to believe stuff, which you shouldn't, because everything can't be proved in science. Magic is simply science that they have not figured out, you know, what it means yet. But for those of you who need evidence, there is literal scientific research that has been done to tell you how real energy is and how real energy can affect your life. So I need you to start keeping gratitude journals. Thank you for that $10,000. I really needed that to get out of debt. I really needed that to take my dream vacation. I really needed that for whatever reason you needed it, right? But instead of living in a mind state of lack, like I just don't know when this is going to happen, I'm worried about this, I don't know how I'm going to pay my rent, I don't know how I'm going to pay my bills, be grateful. It's the thing about perception. You need to turn your mind around in the way that you perceive things, because finances are always abundant, available to us. Please do not think that if you're grateful that you're gonna wake up one day and, like the tooth fairy, there's gonna be a stack of cash underneath your pillow. No, that's not how it works. A couple of you may win the lottery, you may win a little couple bucks in the lottery, but that's not practical. When you pray and you are giving thanks for the blessings you're about to receive, it will come to you in helpful people and investors and donors and new ideas and extra hours at your job and new events that you can participate in and networking that's going to bring you closer to the circle that you're going to need to be in order to experience these more financial blessings. So please don't think, okay, I'm going to be grateful and I'm going to go check my account the next day, there's going to be $20,000 there. Like, if that happens, please report back, because I'd love to know how you did that, because I really don't see that happening. But what I do see is that you will be magnetized and attracted to the path that will get you to the finances if you take the initiative. God helps those who help themselves. You pray about it, you are grateful for it, and then you take the steps that your intuition is telling you in order to get this. But I definitely see people's finances improving right now, because I feel like a lot of people have already done that. Like a lot of people are already taking the steps to get to a place of financial freedom, and you're going to see that coming in. You see how her third eye is highlighted here? Because this is where it's coming, all those messages. Don't just, oh, I should write a book. Nah, let me go watch TV. No, that was your idea. There it was, and you just swept it to the side. Like you could be cooking one day, and I am a good ass cook. I should start my own restaurant. No, that was your idea. Like, yes, go with that. Do that. Write the plans. Get the business plans. If it's a food truck, if it's an in-home like delivery service, whatever it may be. Don't just swat away the ideas coming to you, because that's how God is talking to you. All right, and that's how you're gonna get your finances. And then we got this Angel of Union card, which is stalking us. Coming together. I feel like there's a lot of lonely heart. How can you mend a broken heart? There's a lot of broken hearts being mended right now. Hearts of people who didn't know what love was, and so they allowed people to treat them a certain way because they were settling, or because they thought that they had to take whatever was available. There's a lot of people who are finally going to find a relationship. I do see romance here, but this could also be a really great friendship, a really great partnership. This person is going to create intimacy for you, which is different than sensuality, which is different than sexuality. This is someone who's going to create a space for you to feel vulnerable, like you can let your guard down without being taken advantage of, without being hurt. This is where love breathes. In this space of intimacy, I'm telling you, if you can create this for your partner, both people should be creating this for each other, but especially I'm seeing men should be able, or men learning how to create a safe space where their partner can let their guard down. This is when women become most expressive. This is when they become most sexual. When you create that space for them to just bare their souls, to be naked, to appreciate them. And I'm not just talking about naked without clothes. I'm talking about naked without guards. If you can create that safe space, and not just create it so you can get something out of it, but create it so that you guys can build on this intimacy. There's a strong energy of intimacy coming in, where it says a partnership is blessed and destined for greatness, okay? Be open right now, and it's not always easy to be open. It's not always easy to be vulnerable, but if you take this risk right now, and again, this is why we need to practice our intuition and our psychic abilities, because your intuition will tell you red flags, and your intuition will tell you who's safe to let in. But if your intuition is always paranoid, you're always hyper vigilant, you're always thinking the worst can happen, you're catastrophizing, then it's not going to allow you to find this person. But if you get a balanced intuition, and you can then determine like who is good to let into your life, who is not, you'll find someone who's going to create a safe space for you. And from this place, a beautiful love is going to blossom. This is also, even though these are leaves, I'm seeing these as flames. This is also going to be a very passionate relationship that comes into, whether, again, if this is a working relationship, you guys will both have a passion for environmentalism. You will both have a passion for business. You'll both have a passion for service, whatever it is. It's someone who's going to meet you on your level. But this is about intimacy, and this is about union. It's also for those who are so used to doing everything by themselves, mostly because when you try to delegate, people have let you down in the past. That is the past. The past is history. Tomorrow's a mystery. Let's focus on the present, right? So it's telling you, be open to partnerships of all forms right now, but especially romantic partnerships. I see good things coming. Spirit, again, is blessing these relationships, because we're better together than singular. You can be, I'm a movement by myself, but I'm a force when we're together. Baby, I'm good all by myself, but baby, you make me better. I'm getting that kind of energy coming through, okay? You're great by yourself. You're wonderful, and now you've achieved. Now you know that shit. Now you know that you're whole by yourself, but when you get into this union, you'll feel complete. So this is good energy. And use those rose quartz to help to heal that heart. And then the last message that we got today is the goddess of the sacred path. See, lots of blue in here, which is throat chakra, but it's also healing sadness. It's also related to water, which is the element of cleansing emotionally. So we got to get cleared of that, right? Let go of logic and trust your intuition. I was just talking about this, how some people need proof. They need tangible proof in order to believe something. The spiritual world is not tangible. Okay? There's at some point you have to feel. Okay? You have to feel without proof. You have to move without evidence. Okay? Your path is your own. And everybody is like right now finding their right path, and you're realizing that your path doesn't look like anybody else's. You have to put the blinders on, because comparison is the thief of joy. Don't worry about the fact that you've been doing this path for 8 years and that person's been doing it for 3 years and they're already successful. Don't worry about the fact that you're 30 and you're making minimum wage and there's some 5-year-old YouTuber who just made like $26 million last year doing YouTube. That's not your path, that's their path. Focus on your path, all right? Because the more that you compare to other people, the unhappier you will be, okay? Everybody has a purpose. We wrote out our soul contracts. Oh, look at the sun shining through. Come through, sun. We wrote out our soul contracts before we got here, and you said you wanted to do this. You said this is the path you wanted to take, so don't worry about anybody else's path, right? But a lot of this is incorporating spirituality into your path. I don't care if you're in a corporate setting. There's something that you need to believe in as far as faith. You need to increase your faith. You need to increase your amount of hope. You need to increase your spiritual practices, whether this is meditation, whether this is yoga, whether this is chanting, whether this is journaling, whether this is praying, whatever you choose, whether this is a martial art, whether this is dance, whether this is energy healing, whatever it is you choose, you need to be doing that, because that's going to increase your faith in your path. It's going to help you to see your path more clearly. So whether this is Buddhism, a practice of Buddhism, whether this is Hinduism, whatever path, Taoism, whatever path you choose, you need to get involved into it, because this is going to help to strengthen your backbone, knowing that it's about balance. Everything is not all logical. Everything is not all emotional, but you have to meet yourself somewhere in the middle. And a lot of you are to one extreme. Like, if it doesn't make, and I tend to fall into that logic, because I'm an Aquarius. Like, if stuff does not make sense to me logically, it's hard for me to wrap my head around. But then also, I'm a spiritual healer, so I've seen some things in life, spiritual, supernatural things in life that nobody would probably believe, but I've seen them and I know them to be true. So I have to meet myself in the middle. So sometimes I'll tend to weigh the scale of logic, and I have to be like, no, you have to remember there's some spiritual aspects of this. And sometimes I'm a little too flighty and I'm like, no, you have to ground yourself. You have to bring yourself back to a point of equilibrium. So this is you guys. No matter what it is that you do, no matter what it is your path, you have to incorporate both. Think of a yin-yang symbol. Maybe meditate on a yin-yang, am I saying that right? I don't feel like it's coming out right. Symbol, where even in the white, even in the good, there is some bad. And even in the black, even though I hate that black is associated with negative things, I hate that. But even in the black, there's some good, right? There's not all one way. Life is not black and white. It's very much gray. So you need to take the middle path. I really want people to look up Buddhism. Buddhism helps me to learn about the middle path and about not being one extreme or the next. I used to be a very big perfectionist. And I thought I had to be the best at everything, And Buddhism teaches you it's okay to be okay. You don't have to be the best. That can be very stressful on yourself, on your mind, on your glands, on your family. It's no need to be on one extreme or the next. It's very important that we take that middle path, all right? So balance is being called for right now. Temperance is being called for right now. We're working on our inner selves because our outer is finally coming in. I see that. I see manifestations, the things that you have been working on, they're coming in for you right now. And in order for you to be able to enjoy it, you have to kind of take that middle road. So these are the messages that I have for you. I hope that you guys enjoyed this message. I thank you so much for joining. Please click the subscribe button. Tell your friends to subscribe. Take their phones away from them. subscribe for them, do what you have to do. But I would love to have this as a more intimate conversation setting. So in order to do that, we have to get some more subscribers. I thank you so much for joining me. And if you'd like a personal reading, definitely hit me up because I'm available while the sale is still going on. So you guys have a beautiful day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Love you guys. Peace.